Welcome everybody to my review of Sonic Universe issue 42, the second part of the Secret Freedom Fighter arc. And it turns out that this whole four-part Sonic Universe story pretty much had a big build-up. I mean, it had a big build-up since issue 233, but let's just say that there's pretty much a big old prologue that occurs that started all the way in Sonic the Hedgehog issue 38. And yeah, so is this build-up worth it? Well, let's find out. The issue begins with good old Ugly Troll pretty much passing Rosie and explaining to her that he is going to check up on the hole that the Battlebird Armada left. So yeah, you know, that hole that would have been completely fixed if Nicole had stayed. So yeah. Anyway, pretty much Nagus goes down that hole and he is followed by Elias and the Wolf Twins. And of course, during this whole thing, Elias is monologuing on how he never wanted to be king in the first place, and now he has to pretty much teeter around the edge of the law in order to become king once again. So anyway, and I like this little beat here that as they fall down the hole, one of the Wolf Twins, Lita, the one in green, she's afraid of heights and she has her eyes closed. It's like, oh, get this over with, I don't want to be here. So yeah. And of course, when Nagus thinks he's being followed, he turns around, but thankfully the trio pretty much hide in little crevices. And of course, Nagus is like, no, the Quickster's gone, and the Walrus is too fat. So, I must be losing my mind. And he continues onward. Anyway, Elias starts to plant these explosives, and he starts giving orders to the Wolf Twins. And then the Wolf Twins are like, wait a second, are you even a secret agent? Are you even that experienced? And he's like, no. And then, of course, the Wolf Twins are pretty much calling him out on them not being capable of doing things. Well, this pretty much gets into a little bit of a flashback on how the Wolf Twins actually came to the city, and they were like, hi, we're here to help. And Nagus is like, I didn't send for you. And the Wolf Twins are naturally confused. But thankfully, Uncle Chuck volunteered to escort the twins out, but he really sent them over to Harvey, who was the real person that called them. And of course, he explained the situation on how Nagus usurped the throne and how they are here to help, well, pretty much get the throne back. So yeah. And this would be a perfect opportunity to explain who these girls are. Lita and Lyco Wolf, aka Queen of Diamonds and Queen of Hearts. The Wolf Twins made their comic debut in issue 68 of Sonic the Hedgehog, and they pretty much followed Lupe with the rest of the pack to find members of their missing nation, and that means they've been involved in such events as finding the Overlander girls, losing and regaining Lupe, and their encounter with the Nanite City. You know, the very same Nanite City that will eventually become a new Mobotropolis. And of course, when they finally found the Wolfpack Nation all the way down south, one of the wolves, you know, the wolf that became a member of that area's Dark Egg Legion, has pretty much dated both twins at the same time. Pretty much a little two-timing thing going on. And yeah, the twins were not happy about that. And here's the thing: in issue 69, one of the backup stories, there is this little mention of Lita and how she gets nervous about climbing ladders. It's a nice way to attempt to differentiate the two, especially in this issue. How this little thing about how Lita hates heights. It's a nice little throwback to issue 69, and I like that little research. A little bit of continuity. And of course, one more thing, Lyco's name, it's pretty much short. Pretty much comes from the word lycanthropy, which means wolf. Huh? Huh? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, back to the story. Again, the twins are pretty much chewing out Elias, and they're pretty much telling him to plant the bombs while they will continue to follow Nagus. And of course, there's this whole little footnote of them pretty much getting Elias back to the city, which takes place in issue 239, which means that, yeah, there's going to be some more backstory, and I will get more into that later on. Anyway, the twins find Nagus in some kind of chamber that he obviously created. And of course, once again, Nagus is arguing with the ghosts of his 3 wizard selves that made him. And then, of course, they all taunt him like, ha ha ha, he can't hold his shape. And then, of course, they pretty much say, hey, let go, no one's around. And let go of what? And then, of course, Nagus agrees, alright, if it leaves you, if it pretty much gets rid of you, alright. And then, holy crap, he really lets himself go. And that's when he starts to turn into that big fiery thing we saw in issue 41. So anyway, as Elias pretty much sets up the bombs, he pretty much remembers of times that he has made pretty much stupid decisions, and of course, yeah, he pretty much goes off and tries to find the girls. And yeah, Elias has pretty much had it rough ever since he was introduced in the comic series. Elias Acorn, aka King. Elias debuted in the Sonic comic in issue 68, but his first official debut into the comics happened during a Knuckles story arc. What's this? Knuckles had a spin-off series? Shut up! Being the firstborn to King Max and Queen Alicia, Elias was the rightful heir to the Acorn legacy. During the Great War, King Max sent Queen Alicia and Elias to Angel Island for their safety. I don't know why they didn't bring Sally along as well, but it's a good thing that the infant Sally didn't come, because the craft that carried Queen Alicia and Elias was under attack, and it crashed on Angel Island, and King Max assumed all perished in the explosion. When the Brotherhood of Guardians investigated the wreckage, they found both Elias and Queen Alicia alive and well. Well, in Alicia's case, not well. She was critically injured and had to be placed in cryosuspension to keep her alive. So that left Elias in the care of the Brotherhood for most of his life. Years later, King Max sent his Royal Secret Service to Angel Island to find out what happened to his family. And of course, at the time, the Secret Service was led by Stinky McSkunktail. Anyway, they found their way into the Brotherhood and found both Elias and the Queen, and had them both transferred back to Mobotropolis. And Elias made his official public debut at the same time as Sonic's birthday. I don't know why, but whatever. Elias was never suited to be ruler. He was raised more as an adventurer, and it showed. For example, when King Max got injured during a mission, and Elias had to assume control over the crown, let's just say that he made decisions that were, well, let's just say, counterproductive to the freedom fighters. And eventually, he couldn't take it anymore, and he ran away from the crown. Of course, those bad decisions were the result of having good old Skunk Boy as an advisor, but yeah. Sometime later, the heroes found Elias starting a family in Pharaoh Forest, and of course, Elias is happy and is in his current position. And then a year later, Sonic arrived to convince Elias to become king after King Max was poisoned by Patch, the anti-Antoine. Patch was going to marry Sally and he would ascend to the throne. But Elias showed up and he became the king, and Sonic pretty much exposed Patch. And one of the first things Elias does as king was he annulled Sally's marriage. So yeah, and things were pretty much good, decent. Of course, there was that whole little spew about a coup and the creation of the Republic of Acorn. And, of course, things were good because Elias had to share his power. He didn't mind that at all. And, of course, again, things ran a little more smoothly until that whole snafu with the Iron Dominion and the people losing trust in the coal. And then there's good old ugly troll man showing up to make the situation worse and stealing the crown. So, yeah, Elias is now fighting for what is his, for what is rightfully his, and Harvey Who sees potential in him, so should we? Alright, so Elias tries to find the twins, but he sees the twins running towards him, going away from the fiery, monstery, ugly Nagus. And then, of course, we see the same scene played out in Sonic Universe 41, you know, the one where they had split up into different tunnels and whatnot, la 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 la. And Nagus closes in on the tunnel that has Elias. Thankfully, Elias manages to hide, and Nagus moves on. Lita, unfortunately, wasn't so lucky, and Nagus caught her. But Lyco pretty much tosses a rock at Nagus to distract him, and then, of course, he is like, how'd you? Yeah, you know, because they dress similar, they dress alike, with the exception of color. So yeah. Anyway, Elias shows up with a flash bomb to distract Nagus, and they try and run away. And then they manage to find one of the detonators to blow a hole open so they can escape. But Nagus used Whirlwind to toss them into the bottomless pit below. And oh no, they're dead. Oh, the humanity. No, they'll be back. They'll be back. Anyway, the last panel of this very issue, well, oh my god. Just when you think this guy couldn't get any uglier. I mean, jeez. Now he really is a troll. I mean, seriously, his claws deformed, and I mean, he's all big, and he, is that a tail? Yeah, that's a tail. Why? Oh, well, to be fair, in the original Sad AM where this guy came from, he did have a tail, so, well, I think it's a nice little throwback to that, but jeez Louise. I mean, if the Secret Freedom Fighters succeed in exposing this form to the people, I suspect there's going to be a lot of apology sometime in the future, hopefully. And hopefully that this is the beginning of the end for Ugly Trollface, because I think he's overstayed his welcome here, but yeah. Overall, I like this issue. Pretty much it's a little bit of character development for Elias and at least one of the Wolf Twins, Alita. And obviously, Nagus is pretty much building to something big. And hopefully, next issue we will find out what this big thing is. You know, that whole ugliness that Nagus has, pretty much that. I think it was hinted at ahead of time, because at the end of issue 222, you know, the one where Sonic and Sally went on their first date in like a long time. Well, it pretty much showed him slightly uglier than normal. So I would guess that this whole normal-looking, quote-unquote, version of Nagus that we've been seeing is pretty much a front, and what we saw at the end of this issue was pretty much his true self. I hope there's some kind of explanation about that, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, there's also this whole thing about this entire arc and its build-up. Yeah, at the end of this issue, there's this checklist that pretty much reads off all the issues involving the Secret Freedom Fighters in some way, shape or form. Excuse me. Yeah, it shows that it consists of 4 issues from the regular series and the current Sonic Universe arc. So, yeah. And, of course, Tracy Yardley draws again, but, I don't know if it's him or if it's, like, the inkers and stuff, because, like, you know that one panel of the Wolf Twins, their mouths are, weird and deformed. We don't know the entire story behind that, but, yeah, let's just say that, the art team needs to, you know, kind of improve upon that a bit, because, well, their mouths are, like, deformed and, like, yeah, sorry about that. Alright, overall, I'm just going to give this issue an 8 out of 10. And hopefully, next issue, since on the cover it shows Silver's team, that we get some more Shard and Larry Link's action, because, you know, after rereading issue 41, I'm starting to like the banter between those two, so, yeah. Alright, so yeah, that's part 2 of this grand old Secret Freedom arc, and yeah. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.